We lost. True indeed. We lost. Lord knows we lost. I'm about to say something to make you not like me. You might catch feelings and you might want to fight me, but I don't really care, I'ma say it anyway. Why most committed guys seem soft and gay. I'm not saying all, but a large amount. Have you ever heard the words that come out of their mouth? Yeah, they cuss like a sailor, but they follow my eye. They carry oaks and wear makeup and thinking it's hot. I think they need to stop, this is a new era. I wonder if the pharaohs of a war mascara. It probably was a death mask misunderstood. Don't let them D-boys catch them up in the hood. Why NOI? Stop patrolling the block. We get shot by the cops and we calling the cops. Come on, y'all was on another level. The black man was God, the white man the devil. Now the white man, or better yet the European, and the Mars and the bean pies are sold by Koreans. I'm talking what I'm seeing, I'm just a reporter. How you call a woman to be and you got a daughter. Talking about the Hebrews that demonize women and choose Esau over brothers and kin. Probably timid, soft, and scared to fight. Yelling and wearing spikes, trying to fake me out right. But you can't fool me, cause you make a little noise. Cause deep inside, y'all some scared little boys. If you really wanna ride, let's take it to the beast. Get revenge for our people killed by the police. Yeah, right. Y'all ain't busting the grape. It appears that you fear and you in love with hate. Correct me if I'm wrong, we might all don't get along. European psychology got us all gone. You think we divided? Cause I wear fez and she wear oak and he wear dreads. But the vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to wake you up and get you out of the bed. We lost to get you out the bed. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Oh yeah, I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Y'all think we divided cause I got a fez and you wear and she wear dreads. Y'all think we divided cause I wear fez. The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. And she wear and he got dreads. Moors need to wake up too, so I'ma wake up you. So we can get together, do what we gotta do. We ain't done much since the prophet left. More standing on law, we still in this mess. Haven't built the town to hold us down. Paperwork can't fear, we looking like clowns. Never been to the temple, claim we follow the prophet. But I follow the prophet, I understand logic. People in the temple, time to hit the streets. Everybody do their part, we ain't getting relief. The murder rate can be more than just gone crazy. Dope fiends ODing in the hood on the daily. Weed waste with chemicals, you drink and serve. We fighting over information, we got some nerve. They say that we conscious, we might know a little something, but we just frontin' cause we haven't done nothing, we lost. You think we divided cause I got a fez and she got a cross and he got dreads. You think we divided cause I got a fez and he got an oak and he got dreads. You think we divided cause I got a fez?
Yeah. Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man. Trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway. Come on. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Now let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. You let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom. Till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice, that's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean, for real, this is what it come to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can be scholarly or we can get gutter. We are the children of our Father held it the same. Cause on the real, my man, I'm really bout them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low and return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. I want love, not war. Standing on that floor, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe that might be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an adept. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adept is a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the Nile. We call it Islamism, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you, and those that's talking that this ain't Islam. Everything the prophet brought is in the Quran. All the other stuff, prostrate and cover up, is just the start. The nearest place to me, the law is the heart. You can dress like Infiltration, but you can dress like an herb. Why the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. York, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine Drew Ali. People refuse to admit it. He the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors would forget it, but we here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love. No, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you. And let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, that took your bucks, move straight to Hollywood and straight living it up. And y'all bigging it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your bread to help them set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you, misguide you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, let me be your friend. Peace and love, I said you ain't never, and you would never. You ain't never, ever, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. So let me be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, I wanna be your friend. Yeah, let me be your friend. All these men, we ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, so let me be your, I wanna be your friend. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe. And look at that women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But where the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this
sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moore's world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moore's world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. Nap Town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Welcome to another edition of Moore's World TV. Are you able to hear me? And, can you hear me? Press 7 if you hear me.
I rise.
Press 7 if you can hear me.
Giving honor to his
So, family, we're back again. This is not part 2. Part 2 will be next week. This is not part 2. But we will be sharing some things, but this is definitely not part 2. What this is I want to hear the naysayers. I want to hear the doubters. I want to hear the pouters. And I want to try to reaffirm what I said yesterday with some additions. And I also want to challenge those who are of the militia-minded, Black Power, Pan-African thought to organize and kick these people out the door. Because if the real do not organize, these people who those people have given the spotlight will overshadow you because they got access given to them from the people that they claim to be fighting. Like, you don't wake up one day as a young man in your 20s on Fox News and MSNBC and all of these things. You just don't do that. There's many young people out here right now in the streets that's doing some real work. You won't see them on Fox News. You won't see them on MSNBC or CNN. You won't see them on it. They have to create their own platform. In the 90s, Malik was on every platform you can name. Post Dr. Khalid Muhammad's transition. After Dr. Khalid Muhammad's transition, only then did his star begin to shine. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, he shined on side of the minister. As you see today, you got Wesley Muhammad, you got Nuri Muhammad, you got Ben X. They shine right beside the minister. And others who I didn't mention, no disrespect, but you got others too. They shine right beside the minister. But the moment that
Dr. Khalid Muhammad's transition, you have Malik Zulu Shabazz, the shining star of what is supposed to be known as quote unquote black liberation. And out of that came nothing but confusion. From Malik came multiple factions of the new Black Panther Party. If I'm wrong, say I'm wrong. From Malik came multiple factions. I remember when I first found out that Big Shirley had nothing to do with Malik as it relates to being the new Black Panther Party. I was taken away. I was blown away. I thought that the Moorish Science Temple of America was the only one that has suffered that over 80 to 100 years ago, where they faction off. Until this day, it still plagues the Moorish Science Temple of America. Until this very day, it plays. And everybody is all over the place. But see, you revolutionaries have a chance. Right now, in the Moorish Science Temple of America, in those circles, I'm trying to filter out the madness and show people what the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali authentically look like. But I'm fighting against almost 90 years of manipulation lies in the Moorish Science Temple of America ideal as it relates to the organization. But we are living in the time right now where these splits and these fractions, they are very recent. And you got the ability to fix it. You don't unite because somebody's saying black power. You unite because one exemplifies what power is in their own life and in the people they concern themselves with. I had some popcorn earlier because I said, get your popcorn ready. So here we go again, family. This is a set. You know what was funny to me? You know what's funny to me? I heard nothing besides those who decided that, yeah, Malik is very questionable and hit me up and let me know. Besides those that have been treated greasy because they questioned the authenticity of how things was going. Besides those right there hit me up and people that honor the research and respect the research, and besides those, there was nothing but crickets. There was nothing but crickets today. I'm talking about crickets. I'm talking about, I felt like I was in a country road. What's that old song? That old country song. Life is a highway, and I'm gonna ride it all night long. Gonna get it, yeah, I know in my way. I'm gonna ride it all night long. It's like I was riding down a country road and broke down and I just heard crickets in the field. I was riding down a country road. I got a flat tire. And all I heard was crickets in the field. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long. And then I heard the other song. Take it to my heart, my achy, breaky heart. Maymoon in the building. Maymoon, we've been over here working. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't heard nothing but crickets today. Crickets. People hit me up and saying, man, did anybody come back with something? I had one brother He said, check your email because he found the picture. Now, let's get started. Let me not delay this any further. Family, there was a challenge put out. There was a challenge put out. Show me a picture with Najee Muhammad and Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Do you know till this day, no one over 24 hours later, no one has shown me a picture with Dr. Khalid Muhammad, a clear picture with Dr. Khalid Muhammad and Najee Muhammad. Do you know what that means? Many of y'all who don't follow this stuff closely really don't know what that means. Allow me to explain to you what that means. What that means is KLNDL, Islam. I'm about to bust some heads, brother. So please, I need you to put the ear back on, KLNDL Peter. Brother Peter. You have to put the ear back on when I'm finished. All right, Noble Drali, learn to sit hell. You have to put the ear back on. Listen to me. I want you to understand what this means. What this means is that this is a setup because Malik Zulu Shabazz has endorsed this guy as the prized student of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. He has in his book, and I didn't have time today to find the page. Where that raggedy book at? He has in his book, he has in this book here that Najee, whatever his name is the personal student of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. That is very significant because in the letter that I read last night or the email, the people said, whoever it was, said they're trying to replace Dr. Khalid Muhammad. And he said they call him Little Khalid. He tries to sound like Khalid, and it just sounds very odd that one who was actually with Dr. Khalid Muhammad, we know for a fact without a doubt or contradiction, one that was even with Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Malik Zulu Shabazz, he would fabricate this lie, perpetuate this lie. And nobody on the internet with all of these pictures can show one picture. Not one. As my man Noog said, even Satan got a picture with Khalid Muhammad. Not one picture. His personal student, the one that he tutored, not one picture. Not one. Zero. Zilch. None. This is bad. This is bad. This is worse than what you think it is. And when we do part 2, you will understand. This is worse than what you think it is. But let me get started. Let me give me some recap real quick before we bring the family up in here. Because I want to open the panel. I want to see what y'all think. Let me open this. So look. Here we go right here. The funny thing is to me is how they so desperately try to make stuff look so vintage. It blows me away that as I searched through the internet, and I noticed on Malik page as I was trolling, yes, I did some trolling, as I was trolling, that he does this on purpose. And I know why he does it now. I mean, I know why he does it now, and I'll explain that later. But this is possibly a 2002 or 2003 picture preparing for the Million Youth March under the leadership of Malik. Now, when this guy, Najee, talks about the Million Youth March, he says he met Dr. Khaled at the Million Youth March, where in fact there is no evidence to that. What's up, Akada? Peace, my brother. There is no evidence to that. But this lie got to be very significant because don't nobody lie for no reason at all. People lie for two reasons. One, it's all about deception, but one is to get a foothold on a destination where they're trying to go, trying to get ahead of something. And one is to cover up. So one is to try to usher themselves into a certain direction, and another is to just cover up. This ain't a lie to cover up. This is a lie to usher someone in a certain direction. You hear what I say? Somebody say we should stay out their business, Grand Sheik. No, what I'm going to do is get you out of our business. Brother, I hope you have a good night tonight. Make a new account because I'm going to block you right then and there. All right? I hope you have a good night. Goodbye. And I want you to stay out our business. You know, find yourself, God, find yourself something better to do with your time. Because as I said last night, this is all of our business. When one can creep into our community, look like us, talk like us, dress like us, and not us, it's a major problem with us. And we need to stop acting like Moors, need to stop acting like this ain't our business. This is our business. They infiltrated the Moorish Science Temple of America in the same way. The Moorish Science Temple of America idealistically is alive and well. But when it comes to the building structure and the elements of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's movement, it's not on the ground in the way that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali left it. And it's a direct result of stuff like this. And when we step up as Moorish Americans and say this ain't our business, use a lie. In fact, it became my business when Malik reached out to me to be on my platform. It became my business when Najee reached out to me to be on my platform. It became my business when Crystal Muhammad reached out to me to be on my platform. Must I go on? It became my business when they reached out to me to be on my platform. I was busting Grandmaster Jay upside his head. But it takes me back to my first point, that if infiltration happens, it happens everywhere. And the Moors, I mean, honor to my brother and Moors that's in here today, Alinde L, and my brother Mitchell L, and all the Moorish Americans that's in here tonight, because y'all know that I'm telling the truth. Y'all know that the Prophet's movement is a reflection of what we're seeing right here today. It's a total reflection, and we should be caretakers of our movements. You feel what I'm saying? We should be caretakers of our movements, whether you are in them or not, because it's going to happen to us all if we're not careful. Now, so go make a new account, and we talk about that later. I still have the challenge out that if anybody has a picture, not a glossy one, not one that's all faded and hard to tell. I mean, not one that's hard to tell. I'm telling you that the Moorish World TV citizens, with their support, I'm going to give you $100 cash reward for the sake of humanity. A servant is worthy of his hire. For the sake of humanity, because I want to be wrong. This is one of them times where I want to be wrong. You understand? Anybody seen something so clear, but you would wish you were wrong? Press 7 if you ever been there before. Like, say if you was in the dark world and you caught your girlfriend or you caught your boyfriend with somebody and sister, you see him and you like, no, that's not him. You know it's him. Brother, like, that's not her. That's not her. Oh no, that's not her. That's not her. No. You want me wrong. I mean, you just want to be wrong. You know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you. That can't be her. But it's her. Like, man, please let me be wrong. This is how this is. This is how this is. You don't want somebody playing with the feds when it comes to this, because you got some sincere people under the umbrella of Malik Zulu Shabazz. You have some sincere people under the umbrella of AJ. You have some sincere people under the umbrella of most of these questionable people. So you don't want it to be like that. But hey, if it is what it is. So let's get the ball rolling, family. Thank you for joining me tonight on Morse World TV. I'm doing some recaps and I'm going to open up the floor. So now, somebody sent me this picture and said, the first Million Youth March, Prince Najee with Dr. Khaled's little son, Farrakhan, at the time of 1998, September 5th. In fact, that actually looked like Mason Betha. No. But he's not with Khaled. I don't know who it is. That doesn't look like him to me. I mean, but Mason Betha, I want to ride. Looking like Harlem World. I like, come on, man. I said, I like, come on, man. I thought I was clear when I asked. You know what I mean? But hey, but somebody sent that to me. I don't know why, but somebody sent that to me. I don't know if that's him or not. But that's why I say a clear picture with him and Dr. Khaled, because we know how this internet works today. We clearly know how this internet works today. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what that was about, but that's unacceptable. I say with him and Dr. Khaled Muhammad. But he over there looking like Nathan Betha just got mad at Puffy. But anyway, let's keep it moving. So that's what somebody sent me. And again, this is the only picture that we stuck with. You follow me? This is the only picture that we stuck with. Now, real quick, I want to breeze through some things, family. So if I'm moving too fast, because some of this stuff I mentioned last night, if I move too fast, family, go back and rewind, because in reality, we in class. All right. Right? In reality, we are in class. So, family, if you are interested in the topic that we have in here tonight, know for sure you have to keep your eyes open. You have to keep your head spinning. You have to see people for who they are. You follow what I'm saying? You got to see people for who they are. And so I'm going to do this recap real quick, and then I'm going to come on back, and I'm going to show you why I do what I do. Real quick. Let's get busy. So I'm gonna roll through this real quick. So now, first of all, we know that this was a fabrication when he said that he met Dr. Khaled Muhammad, his mentor. You know what I'm saying? And he trained him, and he was the captain and his revolutionary father that brought birth to the new Black Panther Party. Now we know, hold up, I'm gonna say it again. The prince received political and spiritual training from the foremost Muslim leaders such as Minister Malcolm X. He said he received spiritual training, political training from Malcolm X, and spiritual father, Minister Louis Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam. Then he met the man that took hold of him, his mentor, Dr. Khaled Muhammad. Later in time, he called him as his trainer, captain, and his revolutionary father that brought birth to the new Black Panther Party. Now, we all know that Dr. Khaled Muhammad didn't birth the Black Panther Party. In some circle, Prince Najee has been called Little Khaled. So we know that's propaganda. So let's deal with the FBI part. Now, we got three situations where he's always talking about the federal government or FBI, federal authority. Najee says he's going to bring Zimmerman to the federal authorities since local police have not acted. Now understand this. He's saying this while he's not with Malik. All right? But this plays a real significant role. He's saying this while he's not with Malik. Now let's go to the next one. He's saying this while he's not with Malik, but it plays a real significant role. But why would he want to take somebody to the federal authorities? Can you imagine you talking about you want to take, like what is wrong with you for real? Like who makes a statement like that? You know what I mean? Secondly, the second statement about the FBI. He says, Black Power Queen, hey, where have you been? Know this, an FBI person called me and asked some questions about what happened. I said things are okay. Now, what he talking about is somebody supposed to have shot in the air and da-da-da. But hold up. Somebody shoots in the air. Somebody shoots in the air. And then the FBI calls him. But hold up. He's always playing these FBI games. You know what I mean? But mind you, Malik is the one who most likely brought him in. Mind you, yeah, he's talking all of these FBI games. You follow me? Another FBI game. He sent this report about somebody trying to assassinate him, supposedly, to, of all people, we, the New Theological Institute Center investigation team, are offering this report to Atlanta Police Department and the FBI. So now he's calling the FBI. I'm just going over this so people can get because I'm not going to be long tonight. I'm just going over this so people who doubt what I'm saying can do their own research on this. Because we know everybody was mad at me. You know, everybody was mad at me because they say that this is calling foul. This is calling foul. This is slander. Mind you, these are all his notes or all of his quotes. This is all of his notes or all of his quotes. This is not me projecting. This is not me and Malik know all this. In fact, he sent this not only to the FBI, not only to the Atlanta Police Department, he also sent it to Malik and all of the leaders of the new Black Panther Party. That's how bold he was. This was in 2011 when he stepped away from Malik. And now he's cuddled up with Malik again. Then, let me go on down real quick. And then we have to face the fact this before I get into my other presentation. We have to face the fact of this, that according to the Europeans, he has a 75 IQ, an IQ of 75. Now, what I did was I said, you know, I did the short version yesterday. But what I did was I went and did further research to find out what that IQ of 75 is. Do anybody know that they consider an IQ between 70 and 75 mental retardation? Anybody know that? Anybody know that an IQ of 70 to 75 is equivalent to retardation? So why wouldn't they be able to use him? Why wouldn't he be able to be turned into an op and appear to be Dr. Khalid Muhammad, for those who don't know? The younger generation, possibly. The hip-hop generation, possibly. I don't know. I don't know who will believe it. I don't know who will believe it, but I know those of us with good common sense, that love Dr. Khalid wouldn't fall for that imitation of a Dr. Khalid Muhammad. We wouldn't fall for that. So, all right, I'm almost finished this recap. And then recently, as of March 5th, 2022, he frauded a lady, an elderly lady named Miss Dana Dawkins, allegedly frauded her out of no less than $37,000. You hear what I said? An elderly, disabled lady out of no less than $37,000 as recently as a few months ago, 3 months ago. You hear what I say? Now, this is the guy that Malik is saying he is the jawbreaker, that he is Dr. Khalid's student, that he is the shining star student of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. This is Malik's words, not mine. Now, Malik have sent people my record. He didn't decide to see. He's known this guy since 2011 or 2003. And this is the field marshal of some sort. This is all on Malik. At some point, this is all on Malik. You see what I'm saying? Malik has allowed the leak because Malik is the leak. You hear what I say? Malik is the leak. And anybody who think he's not the leak, you will fall victim too. But this is serious business, and I'm going to touch on it in a minute. I hope everybody share this because I'm about to get real serious in a minute. It says that the defendant has a psychotic disorder with an IQ of 75. I know it's about to turn for the better. If you don't know, I want you to look up IQ 75 and retardation. I want to keep the show moving, so I'm not going to stay stuck right here, but I'll just go to where I highlight it. Although all persons with mental retardation have significantly impaired mental development, their intellectual level can vary considerably. An estimated 89% of all people with retardation have an IQ is in the range of 51 to 70 range. And an IQ in the 60 to 70 range is approximately scholastically equivalent to a third grade. Let me go up. Intelligence quotient. Tests are designed to measure the intellectual functioning. An IQ score provides a rough numerical assessment of an individual's present level of mental functioning in comparison with that of others. The vast majority of people in the United States have an IQ between 80 and 120, with an IQ of 100 considered average. To be diagnosed as having a mental retardation, a person must have an IQ 70 to 75, significantly below average. This according to the CDC. I think this what it is. I don't know. I can put the link up later. I saved it. So according to these Europeans, if we choose to use that, what up, Drake? According to these Europeans, if we choose to use that, Malik is using a mentally ill person, and the government is possibly using them too. Now, this is the thing that we never understand until later, and I'm explaining that in a minute. We won't understand that until later because we never know the goods until time passes on. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, I know you probably say, I'm pretty sure some people probably say, why do Tahaka Bay, always talking about so-called black people, our people? Why do Tahaka Bay do that? Before y'all now I want y'all to be honest. Now this is on you now. Before some of y'all in here was digging the research, did it ever cross your mind and say, why Tahaka Bay keep coming at, quote unquote, our people? Press 7 if you thought that before. Be honest with yourself. Be honest. Because I want to explain that once and for all here today. Have anybody in here that used to disagree with me or even agreed with me ever considered, man, why he keep on talking about us? The original people, my man, that's my bro. The original people. Anybody? Anybody else? Why he don't say nothing about them Europeans? Why he don't say nothing of that? Why he ain't say this? Why he ain't say? Why he keep talking about us? Thank you, Zen. Thank you, Zen Zuna. Thank you, my brothers. Thank you, my brother. That's right. But now, today, I'm going to explain to you why. And I want everybody to pay attention why. Do you know that the slave trade could not happen without us? Do you know that the slave trade could not been successful for Europeans without Africans and indigenous people participation? Do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know it wouldn't even have happened if it wasn't the indigenous Africans and the indigenous Americans that didn't participate? Did you know that? It wouldn't have never happened. It only was successful for the Europeans because the bootleg, jackleg Negro, the sellout. That's the only reason it was successful. So my concept is we already got 4,000 to 6,000 years of combat, intellectual, physical discourse with oppressive Europeans. We know what that looked like. But we have yet to get a foothold on those that's amongst us that sells us out. We have never attempted in history to develop something to weed out those amongst us. We're always Monday night quarterbacking. Once we done, oh, that's what happened. Once Malcolm is in the ground, we start talking about it was infiltrated. Once Malcolm is in the ground, we start talking about it was a police that suffocated him. And this police supposed to be Malcolm's security guard. When Garvey is being shipped to jail, we start talking about who was there, who was this, who was there, who was this. So why should we, as a people, focus on something that we already know? We need to turn the energy within. See, Prophet Noble Drew Ali makes a statement. He said, I brought you everything you need to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. So first of all, what we got to do is look within. If you are a Christian and you say you gave your life to Jesus, you have to make that decision within. It all starts with you. If you are a Muslim and you say that you are going to submit your will to the will of Allah, and you're going to take your shahada, you got to say it to yourself. If you are a Pan-Africanist, and you say, I'm going to guide my life by the principles of Pan-Africanism, you have to make that choice within yourself. No one can make it for you. Same thing with a Moorish American. Take it and save yourself. Well, the same things happens in this dynamic for us to come out of this to come out of this struggle and liberate ourselves. We first must look within. Look within our group. See what the problem is within our group first. You never fix a problem by looking out. You never clean your house by looking out your window. You clean your house by looking in first. And then you clean the outside. Didn't Jesus say that to the Christian brothers and sisters? You clean the inside of the cup first. So I will get a lot of flack because I'm looking at the inside of the cup. Because the inside of the cup is what's going to get us sick. The inside of the cup is what's going to give us the disease. The inside of the cup is what potentially is what's going to take us out. So it's in our own group, and we need to develop ideas. And in this technological age, that's right. We got the ability. We got the ability. In this electrified age, we got the ability to weed them out. Because guess why? Vanity is above all weakness of men. Ego and vanity goes hand in hand. And these crazy people are so vain, they're so vain, they got to post everything. They got to tell everybody everything. They got to talk, they got to advertise. Vanity is beyond all of human weaknesses. If a person is full of vanity, all you got to do is sit back and let them play itself. They'll tell on themselves. She'll tell on themselves all the time. You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to do nothing. Just sit back. And you can tell who's full of vanity. As Abu X say, arrogance, you can tell. Because every time they do something, they're looking for the applause of everybody else. They're looking for the applause. If they give somebody a sandwich, they want to applause. If they give somebody $1, they want to applause. If they scream F the cracker, they want to applause. They always want an applause. And so, those are the ones you have to watch out for. Now, we get busy. Here we go. So the reason why is because history best qualifies. Let me ask you a question. Anybody know who this is? Anybody know who James Jones is? Anybody? Let me see if anybody got a history lesson. Here go a history lesson. Anybody know who James Jones is? Anybody? Anybody know who James Jones is? James Jones is one of the premier original FBI agents that was sent to take Marcus Garvey out of the circle. Did you know that? James Jones was originally, in 1918, was a Buffalo soldier. We proud of the Buffalo Soldiers. The Buffalo Soldiers, if anybody know their history, be proud of the Buffalo Soldiers. Well, when he left the Buffalo Soldiers, he signed up to be an FBI agent. And when he signed up to be an FBI agent, hold on. When he signed up to be an FBI agent, he went undercover. James Jones brought plenty of experience of young organization. He served for many years in D.C. as a D.C. police officer prior to joining the African-American Army Regiment known as the Buffalo Soldiers. And while stationed in Europe, he was in Europe following the war, he was a senior instructor for his division school of specialists, teaching soldiers how to handle high-power explosive and the mechanics of bombs and renegades. This is the FBI say. We quickly put that expertise to work. As an agent, Jones was employed exclusively in the undercover capacity, working directly under the head general intelligence division, future director J. Edgar Hoover. You hear that? He was the instrumental one. He was one of the instrumental ones to set up Garvey. Just one. Just one. Now remember, being a Buffalo soldier was a proud thing. So they took one that was a Buffalo soldier. They sent him over to England. They brings him back. And he was totally undercover. In other words, he never wore a uniform. He strictly joined the UNIA. Hold up. I ain't finished. This is why. This is his application of appointment of special agent of the Department of Justice. You hear what I say? So, where is Garvey? What happened to Garvey? What happened to Garvey is the same thing is going to happen to you if you're not careful. If you're not careful. This is why we must police ourselves, as they like to say. During his time in the FBI, Jones served in the New York City, Pittsburgh, and New York. He was assigned to infiltrate the Universal Negro Association under the leadership of Marcus Garvey. Although he was seeking evidence of subversive activities during the Red Scare of 1919, Jones' work led to the arrest of Garvey. Y'all hear that? My bad. Jones' work led to the arrest of Garvey. While conducting his surveillance, Jones adopted the code number 800 for his reports and was also known as Agent 800. He apparently knew that his clandestine role was not well concealed. During a March 1920 speech at the UNIA Liberty Hall, he took special pains to point out to the audience that he was indeed of African ancestry. You know that is one of the things that we know, that they go to extreme lengths to point out that they were with Dr. Khalid Muhammad. They go to extreme lengths to try and qualify themselves. You feel me? They go to extreme lengths. All we got to do is pay attention. Yesterday's devil is the devil today. Just like you can be rebirthed into a god, the devil can be reversed into a devil. The devil ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you. And all of those that is so upset with Brother Ta'aka Bey, I'm telling you that you should be watching yourself. You know what I mean? You should be watching yourself. I'm watching myself, and you should be watching yourself. Getting mad ain't going to solve the problem. Follow me? Here we go. He went to, he took special pains to point out to the audience that he was indeed of African ancestry. Although he had the appearance of a person of Caucasian or European ancestry. Nevertheless, he engendered the trust of the UNIA leadership. There you go. You see that? That's the part that people don't get. He was so persuasive that he made them trust him to such an extent that he was able to gain responsibility to registering all incoming correspondences. You see this? Y'all think this ain't happening today in these organizations? Man, they put him right at the head now of the organization. Look at GMJ. His access to the UNIA correspondence, along with his position as adjutant general in the African Legion, were essential in enabling information gathering activities. He had access to everything. You hear what I'm talking about? He had access to everything. So now imagine that they turn it up a notch and they make you and give you a leader as they said that they were going to do. They give you a leader. You follow what I'm saying? They give you a leader. You understand what I'm saying? And one of them leaders was Grandmaster Jay, and another one of them leaders is, without a doubt or contradiction, Malik Zulu Shabazz. I don't care how. See, listen, what people don't understand is that when you understand how this worked, this was before COINTELPRO. So we ain't even talking about COINTELPRO. This is before COINTELPRO. This is in the 1920s. And ain't nothing changed because we haven't been able to be wise enough to put our emotions aside and see things for what they are. You follow me? We haven't been wise enough. We are too emotional. We are way too emotional. And so why change up the strategy if the strategy still works? The only adjustment that they made is they put the leader before you now. They grab one from amongst a group of people, and 9 times out of 10, I don't know how it works, but hey, they sell them back to you. But all the signs of the way that they do it is there. This is how we know stuff because of history. We only know it because of history. You know what I mean? This is what it is. And everybody who's a part of a militia, everybody who's a part of a gun club, everybody who's following a questionable leader, you should consider. You should consider. You should consider. And you should organize with the real. Here we go again. In August 1921, Jones began conducting some civil surveillance on the African Blood Brotherhood. He bold now. Eventually recognized as an ex-police officer, somebody spotted him out. Jones was no longer an asset as a clandestine agent, and he resigned from the Bureau in 1923. He had to get out of there. He had to get out of there. On February 10th, 2021, episode of The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Roy Wood Jr. performed a comedy segment on James Wormley Jones, accusing him of being the black spy who put Marcus Garvey in prison. And it wasn't an accusation, it was a fact. But not until, now you hear what I say, not until last year. You hear that? Not until last year did it all come out full circle. And they still using the term accused. Do you see how intricate these plots are? Better wake up. Better wake up. This guy was infiltrating in 1921. But not until February 2021. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? See, it's certain things that the training of these agents do, and it reflects what they have done. You hear what I say? The training of these agents, they do what has been done. So if you study what has been done, you'll know what's being done now. They creating leaders. And these leaders, they speak with passion. These leaders, they speak with conviction. These leaders, they speak with authority. But these leaders don't mean none of it. Because if you notice, they never go full force with it. They're always waiting for somebody else to do it. This is why Malik Zulu Shabazz would say, I tell Malik to call me, and he say, Najee, go get him. And dumb and Najee fall for the bait, hook, line, and sinker. I tell Malik to call me if he want to get busy, do it privately, but he sends Najee. He would never do it himself. Never, ever, ever. Everything that these provocateurs say, they will always hope for somebody else to do it because that's their job. To inspire, to provoke, to get the ignorant to act out their ignorant rhetoric. Their job is not to go to jail. Their job is not to be sit on the sideline for a minute. Their job is to promote, agitate. And in reality, the only thing that ever got people free from oppression was organization, political organization, military organization, governmental structure organization, economic organization. These are the only things that really ever got our people free. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because I believe in the cohesive unit of nationality. I believe that all nations come together as a nation to fight a common enemy. I believe that the Russians come together to fight a common enemy that they consider a common enemy. I believe that Italians will come together as Italians to fight a common enemy. I believe that all nations in Africa will come together as a nationality to fight a common enemy. You see what I'm saying? And so the same thing I believe about the Moorish American nationality. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that faith and confidence in that the Moorish American nationality is taught to those people who subscribe to it properly. They will also come together to defend themselves against a common enemy. First and foremost, what we need more than anything is economic freedom. That's the first thing we need before we start talking all this crazy rhetoric. We need economic power. We need economic power. You ain't got no economic power, you ain't fighting nobody anyway. You ain't got no economic power, you ain't gonna get the best of education. You ain't got no economic power, you ain't gonna get the best of food. You're gonna be unhealthy. You can't fight nobody. You ain't got no economic power, you're gonna be stressed out. You're gonna be smoking weed, smoking crack, smoking Newports, drinking beer, trying to flush your stress away. If you ain't got no economic power, you ain't got nothing. So one thing that we need more than anything in this world right now is economic power. And that's going to come from an organized effort. Economic power is not buy black. That's not economic power. Because you buy black, and that black person that you say, your brother, they go and buy a bag of weed. You buy black, that person that you buy black from, he go and buy some Gucci. He go and buy some dumb Yeezys. No, it got to work from a nationality perspective. It's got to work from a unity perspective. It got to work from a centered goal perspective. Where are we going with these economics? Like every other group of people do. And until we realize that, and I'm not trying to preach it to you or nothing like that, but until we realize that we're not going nowhere, and they know it, and they know it, and they know it. But in the process, to slow the process down, they will send people out to keep the water muddy. Keep it muddy. Keep you angry. Keep you frustrated. Keep you, the cracker, the white man, the police. You know what I mean? Do you know that in majority of cities that are us, the police department can shift in one voting season if you wanted it to, if people really knew? It could shift in one voting season. One voting season. Local politics is everything. But that ain't what I'm here for today. Let's get busy. You know what I mean? Let's get busy. That's not what I'm here for today. Let me do what I say. These are absolute, somebody say distraction. They are very much so distractions. So let me share this real quick. Next, I want to share with you Earl Titus. After working as an Indianapolis police officer, joined the Bureau on January 9th, 1922. His assignment included undercover work as investigation of Marcus Garvey, black nationalist who was convicted of mail fraud in 2023. Titus retired in June 1924. Do you notice the common theme that's going on in his? That the moment that Garvey goes to jail, all of these Negroes retire. Did you notice that? Now, these brothers have to work their way straight to the top. Because now you know Garvey organization was 1 million strong. So they have to, in New York, with thousands and thousands of members, they have to weasel their way straight to the front seat. Do you know what type of infiltration skill that take? I don't know, but it got to be something serious. Because when you look at a Marcus Garvey speech, you see thousands, you see just a sea of people. You see a sea of people. And in order for one to weasel their way, in order to get into the seat of power and information, this got to be a slick cutting fool here. He got to be slick. He got to be extremely slick. He got to be able to speak the language. He got to be able to dress the dress. He got to be able to talk the talk. He got to be able to eat the food. He got to be able to. He got to be able to exemplify everything that the people were doing in this day and time. So don't think that just because Malik can scream Black Power, don't think that just because Polite can talk that talk, don't think that. Where did Polite come from? We're going to get into that in a minute. Where did Malik come from? The only thing that you know about Malik is Howard University. His whole history has been scrubbed. You hear what I say? How can Malik have a gang summit, but he don't have no set out of LA where he say he from? How can Malik have a gang summit, but ain't got one set from LA vouching for him? If you're from Chicago and LA, those are the premier places of gangs. They was gangs in New York too. Yeah, we know that. But one of the most popular place for gangs is Chicago and New York. I mean, in LA. And you mean tell me that he claims to be from LA and he don't know one Crip set? Because see, he my age. I would expect him to know a Crip set before a Blood set. You know, because Crip follow Blood. But hey, either or. Listen, his whole past have been scrubbed. He says he's from LA. You don't know that for real. Only thing we know is Howard University. That's all we know. Only thing we know that he was of the student union to bring Khalid Muhammad to the people. That's what we do know. You follow me? That's what we do know. And one of the things that we need to try to figure out, though, whether we like it or not, one of the things that we're going to have to figure out is very clear. It's very clear what we're going to have to figure out. You know what I'm saying? It's very clear. At some point, if he's still out there with all of this rhetoric, at some point, we're going to have to figure out how in the world did he come from this? How did in the world did he come from this and a little rap group? How did he come from this? You hear me? To this. And who flipped them? Because somewhere in between here, this when he was in a rap group, and here, he was flipped. He was never in the NOI. Never. Even this outfit that he got on, even the outfit that he have on, that's an outfit that he wore with his rap group. We're going to talk about that next week on part 2. This is an outfit that he wore with his rap group. He was never a member of the Nation of Islam. Never. Ever, ever. How do I know? I interviewed him. I asked him straight up. He fumbled and mumbled and everything. He's never been in the Nation of Islam. I asked him the specific question. And this is the thing when you have history, family. Learn history, learn knowledge of all different organizations. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. New Black Panther Party Self-Defense DC said never registered. That's the question that I asked him. I said, were you ever a registered? I said, you ever been a member of the Nation of Islam? He said, no. No, he said, I've always, my grandfather was in the Nation of Islam and he didn't want to answer the question. My grandfather was in the Nation of Islam and he told me about Elijah Muhammad and da-da-da-da. And so I changed the question up. I say, have you ever been a registered member of the Nation of Islam? And he paused for a minute and said no. And furthermore, he will tell you in the interview where I interviewed him in that he's not a Muslim. He's not a Muslim. I asked him, now at that time, he was trying to sell his book. I knew, see, this is the problem with people. When you come on Moorish World TV, right, and you see in the beginning the laughing and the music and the, you know what I'm saying? You see all of that and you say, man, this guy quirky, this guy kooky, okay. But I'm asking you questions because I'm really interested, not trying to set you up. I'm really interested about the historical aspect of a person's journey. But the problem with that is I just know the questions to ask because I've studied and have friends in the Nation of Islam that I'm very close to. I have friends in the Sunni community. My best friend of 40 years is a bona fide Sunni Muslim. Bona fide Sunni Muslim. Him and his wife, my best friend for over 40 years. So I know we've studied together. I know what questions to ask. And not to try to railroad or set somebody up. I really want to know your historical journey. But I always go back and reference those questions to see if it's consistent after you flip the script on me. Now, the moment that he said to me that I'm an agent because I was talking that Grandmaster Jay was the agent, all bets was off. All bets was, I'm an agent? I ain't never called you no agent. But now I need to look back and find out, why would you be so aggressive about this Grandmaster Jay that you really don't know, so you say? Why? Why would you flip like that? Okay, so when I did my further research on Malik Zulu Shabazz, I begin to find out, wow. Hold up now. Wait a minute. None of this stuff is adding up. And so, how did he flip? When did he flip? Because somewhere between here and here, you see what he was a member of right here? Unity Nation. This is the flip. This is a flip. Standing right behind Khaled. He had already flipped. I'm telling you. He gives the sign, I'm going to say allegedly, because we won't know right now. The same thing I said about Grandmaster Jay. We will not know right now. So I'll say allegedly. I'll say allegedly because, again, we won't know right this minute. We just won't know right now. So I'm going to say allegedly. You follow me? I'm going to say allegedly. Because in reality, we won't know right now, because even what I just told you, and I'm going to show you some more people from back in the day that we didn't know until 100 years later. You follow me? So here we go. Somebody say he's in D.C. These antics right here are super dramatic. And this is what it represents what I read about the guy going through pains to prove that he was Asiatic or of African descent. And this is the same thing these agents do. They will go to extremes to prove that they are freedom fighters. Now, somebody is taking this picture at the right time. You see this? And he happens to have the clear picture on his Facebook. Somebody is at the right place at the right time taking a picture with the right angle, with him with a bullhorn and a spit mask on his face. You hear what I say? And to the untrained eye, he is addressing the police. But to a trained eye, it's a photo op. But and I want to teach you how to be a trained eye. It's a photo op. Somebody is at the right place at the right time. And these are the things that they use to validate themselves. Remember, Big Shirley did the same thing. They were at a march and there was a bunch of people behind her, and she was saying that she was standing down the police. She wasn't standing down no police, because we seen in another video where, as though when the police told everybody get low, she laid down. But she, on her webpage, she got all the people that's not even New Black Panther members. They're standing behind her, and then across the line is the police right there. And she got, yeah, we stood down the police. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. We seen what happened when the police get ratchet with you. You lay down and let your people take them hits with them tasers. That's what you did. But they use these photo ops to try to verify to the people that they really want all the smoke. You know what I mean? It's so crazy that these same two that will cuss each other out at one point on social media claim that. I remember when Malik first said to me, I said, man, can I get, at this time, I didn't know they was all split up and all that. And I said, I was talking to Malik on the phone. And I said, Malik, can I get you and Sister Crystal to sit down and talk? He said, I'm not talking to that fat B. And in my mind, I could not believe that this guy would call her a fat B. I mean, he said the word straight out. To me, I mean, even when I disagreed and said Crystal is suspect and I call her Big Shirley, I never would come out my mouth like that. And called her a fat B. I said, oh my God. I knew he was half crazy then. Something wasn't right. And then right there in Tulsa, you see them like ain't nobody said nothing. I don't understand that type of thing, because if I ever call somebody a B, you can trust and believe we ain't hugging up on nothing. I see you, you go your way, I go mine. And if you ever call me a B, hey, say B and it is. That's all I got to say about that. But I don't understand how this works. right up in Tulsa after both of them cuss each other out, call each other's agents. They call each other agents. And this is what you get? This doesn't make sense to no sort of leadership for any responsible liberation organization on the planet. Anybody who follow this, also, unfortunately, I'm sorry, IQ is suffering. I'm sorry, family. I got to call it for what it is. I got to call it for what it is. And then, I got to call it for what it is. Somebody IQ is suffering. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's so crazy to me. We're going to get through this, family. I'm going to try to keep it down to 2 hours, family. We're going to get through this because I got a lot I want to cover. But it's so crazy to me that in this day and time, man, how it's just, we just disregard everything. We just disregard any and everything. And we got to do better. Let me see something. We got to do better. We got to do better. There ain't nowhere in the world. 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick. Ain't nowhere in the world nobody going to tell me that this is going to liberate the people. This is not going to happen. Ain't nowhere in the world. Hold up. Let me get this real quick. Trying to get something for you real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get you something real quick. Ain't nowhere in the world, man, you're going to tell me that you're going to liberate the people with this mess. You know what I mean? Let me pull this back up real quick. You know what I mean? And this guy here, this is, at one time, this was Malik's right-hand man, Akbar. For years, they traveled. For years, they went around the country with each other, claiming to be liberating the people for years. Akbar is the one that was on the show that was in the car that the police pull up and everybody go to jail about him. Unbelievable that people would stand by as if this is something normal. You would have, and I gotta keep saying it, you would have my brother Anubis say, I'm trying to tell you, but you're not hearing me, but you ain't see the show where the brother, or you haven't done any intel on the brother sitting up there getting locked up, and this brother goes home. The whole car, the husband and the wife, I'm not going to repeat and invoke their name because they're friends of the Morse World TV programming. But what I'm trying to say is that you're not hearing me. You're not hearing me doing all this foolishness, smacking on cereal. You're not hearing me. But at the same time, you're not questioning anybody around you, obviously, because you said, I'm slandering your comrades. Well, I'm asking you, where is the lie? I'm asking you, where is the lie? No, the problem is, don't nobody want to talk about this. Want to sweep it under the rug and pray that it ain't true. If you real, you want to pray that it ain't true. And if you fake, you don't want it to get out. That's just what it is. At this point, if you real, you're hoping that the tooth fairy come and pray that it ain't true. You're hoping on fantasy. And if you fake, you definitely don't want it to get out. This is all he does is advertisement. What type of lawyer would have time to do this? On the average month, over the years, this is what he does. This is what he does. He promote this idea of Black power with no successes. How many years has he been promoting this Black Power idea with no success story? And people still following this? People still following this? I'm talking about over and over and over, promotion after promotion after promotion, travel after travel after travel, speech after speech after speech. Nothing? Not a daycare, not a school, not a grocery, nothing? Black Power should be about empowerment, I thought. How is this empowering somebody? Going somewhere yelling at somebody? How is this empowering somebody? Do we need that? Yes, we need that too. We need people on the front line talking to the oppressor in a language and what he understands. We need that too. But you just can't have one just putting up flyers, marching when somebody gets shot, marching when somebody get killed, marching when somebody get maimed, but you ain't create no alternative. You can't take the D-boy off the corner and don't provide him with a trade or a job to make the equivalent of more money. You can't do that because the D-boy ain't tripping off what you talking about. This old mysterious God, this old mysterious liberation. They have made liberation a new God, the boogeyman God. They have made liberation ideal, the boogeyman God. They hoping for it. They really don't see it. They praying that it's there. They have no indication that it's possible, but it's the boogeyman God. It's the same God that's coming to take people up in the rapture. It's the same God it's the same concept. Only thing they did was took out the iconic Eurocentric type Jesus figure and then they put Black Power there. But the true Black Power people need to come out of the shadows and have a spokesman and keep the thorough ones that need to stay back there in the background to have your back, whoever you may be. Somebody need to wipe this stuff off the planet. Putting your clean glass next to this dirty glass. This is a dirty glass right here. This is a dirty glass right here. No, man, I'm trying to tell you. This is a dirty glass right here. Look at this. This is what he do. Promote. This, and he don't have no picks. In 2015, anybody could have seen Black Lives Matter was kind of funny. In 2015, he will ride the coattails of anybody who got some steam going. We all team up in victory in the streets. They don't scrutinize. They don't vet. These type of agents, they don't scrutinize, they don't vet, especially if these organizations were sent by the same administration that sent them. They're going to back them. And when they become uncovered, they'll back up real fast. And so you won't hear him talking about Black Lives Matter no more, but you will never hear him condemn them either. After all the things that we done found out about Black Lives Matter, you would never hear these agents condemn them because they come from the same people. It might be a different name. It might be a different place. It might be from a different space, but it's the same people. And that's why they never condemn. That's why he could never look at Grandmaster Jay and call a spade a spade. He could never look at Black Lives Matter and call a spade a spade. He could never do that. He could never do that. He just act like it ain't happened. And then he start crying this old, the classic thing that they do. We need unity. I'm about unity. We need more unity. We need to stop slandering one another. We need unity. Working on people's heartstrings. Further pulling the wool over the eyes of the people. Further pulling the wool over the eyes of the people. We need unity. And that's just another tool to pull the wool over the people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? When you look at this right here, and in that thing we read last night, he gets all of these fancy posters and flyers made. But tell me who's missing in that picture, family. Can anybody tell me who's missing in that picture right there? This is a travesty. Who is missing in this picture with the new Black Panther colors? Who? Somebody's missing. Who? Ain't nobody name it yet. Ain't nobody named that. Who is missing in that picture? Y'all know who's missing in that picture. Of all people, Aaron Michael should be in the picture. He's the founder. Out of all people, Aaron Michael should be in the picture. Somebody said, Najee, yeah, he should be in there too. Out of all people, the founder of the new Black Panther Party should be in the picture. Out of all people. He's the founder of the organization. How don't he make this leadership picture? You got Malik, you got Hashim, and you got Khalid out front. How is it that Aaron Michaels don't make the cut? That would be like these Europeans have a whole mural and forget to put George Washington on there or Ben Franklin. If that's the best way I can tell you. That would be just like we have a book of pharaohs and we forget Tahaka. You ain't forgetting no Tahaka. How do you do that? And you mean nobody says nothing? That's right. May Moona said, that's like a civil rights pick without MLK. How do you do that? That doesn't make sense. But we read in that email that they want to write out Dr. Khaled, but in fact, they're writing out not only Dr. Khaled, but at that point, they was writing out Aaron Michaels. There is no new Black Panther Party without Aaron Michaels. Crazy. This is crazy. And nobody think that's suspicious, suspect. Now, let me get over here real quick. Let me get back down here real quick. Arthur Llewell Brent became a special agent on August 1st, 1923, after serving 2 years as a special employee of a sort of investigator in the Department of Justice. Brent was assigned in the Washington field office where he worked on Garvey case. He left the bureau in 24. See, once Garvey was convicted, it was a wrap. Do anybody know who Ernest Withers is? Anybody know? Anybody know who Ernest Withers is? Anybody know? Anybody know? This is what we need to teach our children. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to teach our children. If you're doing homeschooling, take some of this, make your own curriculum, and teach your children this. Ern Withers was known as the civil rights photographer. In other words, he had access to every civil rights meeting, every civil rights party, every civil rights agenda, planning, everything. In fact, he was Martin Luther King's or the Southern Christian Leadership Conference main cameraman also. So he was in the inner circle of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. You follow me? Now, how do you get in that circle of the planning and getting all the pictures? How do you build that type of confidence? Well, you must have some superb training because they let him right in. They let him right in. And you mean tell me that we close a blind eye to this now? FBI informants working in the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, civil rights photographer, recast as FBI informant. The one that's probably the most famous is Ernest Withers, the photographer whose pictures of the civil rights movement are considered iconic today, specifically his I Am a Man picture, and to know that Ernest Withers, who was well respected by the members of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, it was a payday to him to be an informant. He wasn't making a lot of money taking pictures. And so this was a way to make extra money. It was just that simple. Now you mean, and he got all the way up to the upper brass of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And you mean tell me that they can't place somebody in the midst and you don't screen them today? Then the reason why you don't screen them is because you don't study history. That's the reason why. The reason why is because you don't study history. You have to study history to know what these people look like. There you go. Black Knight got it. There you go. Brother Hannibal got it. There you go. But the thing is, this informant right here, Hannibal says several informants about MLK. This informant was most important though, because this one could bring back tangible stuff, and it was easy to justify taking pictures. It was easy to justify recordings. It was easy to justify that because they accepted him hook, line, and sinker and his equipment. There you go. You follow me? And so you have to remember that this is how it works today. You're not getting away from it. This is the same way it works today. I mean, when you look at the NOI, and I just snatched this real quick, and there is complicity, plenty admitted. The FBI has said, bragged actually, that its counter-pro operation in 1960s and 70s was instrumental in creating the Elijah Muhammad Malcolm X feud that all but forced the latter out of the NOI. Carl Evans, author of Judas Factor, The Plot to Kill Malcolm X and The Messenger, The Rise and Fall of Elijah Muhammad, contends FBI files reveal the agency had an informant placed so high in the NOI leadership ranks that as of 1968, the person was second only to Elijah's Muhammad's son, Herbert Muhammad. Now you mean tell me that they didn't flip the script now to create a leader for you that sound like you, talk like you, walk like you, eat like you, but they're not you. But they're not you. But they're not you. And that is what's going on. That is what's going on. You hear what I say? That is what's going on. And you mean tell me that you call yourself revolutionaries, you call yourself freedom fighters, you call yourself liberator fighters, and you won't do the first liberating or revolutionary thing? Check those who are around you. You want to check the podcaster, but you're not checking the one around you. You want to check the YouTube guy, but you don't want to check the one around you. Check the one around you before you check the YouTube guy. See if the YouTube guy making a point. See if the YouTube guy is making this up. See if the YouTube guy possibly embellishing. I mean, and the only way you'll be able to do that, is to look at the information and see what you have seen over the last few years. Because a lot of this stuff is just coming out since Grandmaster Jay. A lot of these brothers came out of the military or was former military and decided to join these gun clubs, these militias, and these gun organizations because of Grandmaster Jay inspiration. And they probably couldn't get with Grandmaster Jay because they seen through him, and so they moved on to another platform. They started with the Black Panther Party. They couldn't get with that. They left and started their own platform. But if you left them because you couldn't get with it, obviously something wasn't right there. Obviously. But now that you're not no longer with the platform that you left, you claim that, okay, now let's just all get along. As if you're going to turn a blind eye to the things that made you left in the first place. Don't make sense to me. If I have to leave something, I'm done. I'm done. I ain't turning no blind eye to your indiscretions, to your weirdness. I'm not turning no blind eye to that. Okay, we getting there. Now, and as I wrap this up, now this is the sad part of the show that I must report to you. All right. This is the part that I must report to you. With that being said, and I'm going to do a little bit pocket watching, so don't worry. Don't get mad at me. I'm going to do a little pocket watching. I don't care if you're mad at me or not. All right? Malik, for years, has been posing, this is 2014, with his cars. Do you know that majority of the people that I've talked to in the Panthers don't even own a car? Do you know, under Malik, do you know that most people that I've talked to that's in the Panthers have to hold down 2 jobs in order to make life feel like something? Do you know that many people that I talk to in the Panthers, many of them live right in D.C.? Do you know last night we reported, let's see what this, accusation without giving the accused a chance to face the accused is slander. That is not slander, Chris Ross. You can come on. That's not what slander is, brother. That's not what slander. I mean, that's not slander. That's not slander. Learn what slander is before you make a comment. You're making yourself look like a fool, Christopher. Don't make yourself look like a fool. Research a word before you use it, Christopher. Don't look like a fool. These are not accusations. These are actual facts. All right? Don't come on here making yourself look like a fool. Please. That's not, your whole premise is off. Your whole premise is off. I know you want Jesus to come and save you. I hope he come too. But, you know what I mean? In this situation, there is nothing good coming from this. And for the last few hundred years, at least the last 100, it's been us that have been sabotaging our liberty and our freedom. It's been those amongst us. So Christopher Ross, if you want to keep going the same way that we've been doing, then you go ahead. But for those that are watching Morse World TV, even if they dislike me, I employ them to take note of what I'm talking about. But Christopher, you're welcome to hit the link and come right in. But make sure you read your dictionary first, because you need to understand what slander is before you use it. I mean, you got to understand what it is before you use it. Don't use it. Don't come out your mouth until you read. Whenever you're ready to use a word, don't come out your mouth if you don't if you're not ready to use it. Can't do it tonight, Doc. Not tonight, Doc. Gotta keep it short. Doc. Doc trying to come up in here. I gotta finish this. I mean, at the end of the day. So, and I want to make my point. While he's flossing, last night I mentioned that Najee had to be evicted from his house. You hear what I say? You hear what I say? Save the youth from the lies. While he's out there flossing, those that are putting it all on the line are in a little bit of struggle. I'm pocket watching right now. If you don't understand, listen, I don't feel guilty for pocket watching. I'm telling you that most Panthers that I know, like Sister Janae, she goes into her own pocket to feed her community. I'm going to say it again. Sister Janae goes into her own pocket to feed her community. And she done just hit the link. She better not get on me for calling her out. Sis, did you come on here because I called your name?
I was in the back channel laughing. Yeah, I came because you called my name.
I'm saying, though, this sister here, she just hit the link. I was just saying that she goes in her own pocket to feed her community, and this fool is riding around flossing like he bossing. That's
exactly.
not slick at all. That's not slick at all.
Exactly. And I still have a food program here in Washington, D.C. Free food, free clothing, and free resources. And we have been asking for a headquarters. The headquarters is supposed to be wherever the national chairman is, right? I had to find that out the hard way. We had been trying to get a building. We could have done a refurbished thing. We could have came to Baltimore and bought one of them dollar houses or whatever, but we could never get no support to just get a building. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere we could have our service to the people programs.
Well, stand by real quick, sis. The reason why you won't be able to get a building is because he's flossing on social media with his new house in 2018.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, he's flossing
nice
in his
pool in the backyard. All that
right.
good shit.
He's flossing in his new house in 2018, and while the same one that's a jawbreaker is getting evicted in 2020. And that's
these people don't have no money for real in the revolution. They do everything they can to try to make money to get to these next events and the fundraisers and stuff. These people broke.
This is the jawbreaker house. He either live downstairs or upstairs. He don't even live in the whole house. This is an apartment. You understand what I'm saying?
That's the same story with a lot of people in the revolution. They struggling. I have helped so many of my comrades. They call me for money. You know what I'm saying? I haven't worked. I don't work for nobody. I work for myself. But I have helped all of them. And the same people in this chat room talking trash and stuff like that, I've helped them too. You know what I'm saying? We have helped each other. I've done nothing but try to encourage my other comrades to hold the line. And we keep doing all this stuff with these people. They don't give a damn about you. They don't care nothing about you. Tahaka, you're not telling no lies. You know what I'm saying? You ain't told not one lie. And I tell and everybody in this chat room that know Janae, no, I don't give a about none of that, because they know where I live at. The headquarters in Washington, D.C. was my house, my little apartment here in Southeast D.C., where I still provide services for the people.
Or somebody say you got your background, the background in the sound. People can hear it.
I'm trying to turn it off. Okay, let me turn it off. Mute it. Okay, it's muted. So you know what I mean? Everything that you saying can be proven, it can be vouched for, and it's even more. It's even more stuff out there that people just continue to ignore, and they don't want to hear the truth. And even if you present it to them, they say, I'm gonna follow my leadership. Why? These people ain't right. They not right. They not right. None of them ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I even found out, and I see the little slick comment. Somebody say, "Oh, you married a stranger." You don't know what I married. You know, as far as me and Biko go. You know what I'm saying? Keep it. Don't get personal, because I can get personal too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people selling drugs in the Black Power movement. They pushing dope, and I said that, and I mean it, and I can prove it. Okay. A lot of dissension and distraction that has been going on in the new Black Panther Party has been because people were not properly trained. People were let go. They were put in positions like, you know, how you form a whole militia and you ain't even been properly trained yourself. You don't even know what the hell you doing out here. You know what I'm saying? You putting other people's lives in danger because you don't know what's going on. Every time, who initiated the training? And I say this, Brother Charles McLean is a good man. He's a good man. He was thorough about training us in the new Black Panther Party. Stanley was good about training and stuff like that, but they did not do that until Washington, D.C. announced that they had over 20 members. I had over 20 people in the Washington, D.C. chapter. We were doing our training. We were doing PTO, personal training and all that stuff. We was getting too much attention. Too much attention was being drawn to us. Too much attention was being drawn to me. They try to accuse me of stealing money. How I'm stealing money when they don't nobody pay no dues? You know what I'm saying? Nobody paid me anything. Any money that was collected was put it right back into the community. I was buying bulk clothes. I'm buying brand new shit and putting it on the table and giving it away for free with whatever we collected. I still got a pantry full of food. You know what I'm saying? I give this stuff away every day. Everybody in this building know what I do here in DC. They was just hating. Period. They did not want real service to the people programs out here. And you ain't lying. I kept saying we going all over the country. Is we even recruiting? Are we even building Panthers where we go? That's when I start saying something wrong with this shit. It's not right. Anytime a Panther come into your city, they need to be recruiting other Panthers. Everybody's a Panther. Everybody need to be properly trained. Everybody need to know what to do and how to organize in their own community. I'm organizing in DC. We underground. We ain't announcing shit about what we doing no more. Nothing. Not even giving away free food and clothes. You know what I'm saying? We got to go all the way off the grid in order to get something done. These people had my house bugged. I told you that they had my house bugged. Come in here, and people looking around, putting shit all in my house. I used to let any Panther could come and stay here at my house. As long as you was a Panther, I made room for you. I had an extra room put up for them. I was all about the Black Power movement, and they know that. They know that, and they took advantage of that, and they set up the DC chapter. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just Akbar. It wasn't just Biko. You know what I'm saying? It was all of us. If we came into that situation, we was targeted as the enemy going to a fucking Juneteenth celebration. Sorry about the cussing. You know what I'm saying? It took me a whole year to get over this. You know what I'm saying? But this stuff, I knew it, but I had to keep it inside. They tried to say we pulled in a coup. We wasn't pulling no coup. They was trying to get rid of Akbar. They was trying to get, and they did. They had successfully just act like Akbar don't exist. They got a magazine out there. That crazy white girl put the magazine out there. She took all the ideas and stuff that Akbar had for the magazine, and then they didn't even put his picture in the magazine. They want to write him out of history. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is real. Y'all sitting up here playing, but you playing with people's lives and stuff. And it's not cool. It's not good. It's not good for nobody. But one thing I can say though to Harker, you keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say about you. You solid. You've been solid with me. If people come on here and talk about me, so what? I told you the truth. I told you what happened in North Carolina. I told you the whole story. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no reason to lie.
My thing is this, I think that the real need to, I think like this shouldn't be just done as a magazine show or a tabloid show. I think the real need to come together and push these fraud people out the way. I mean, and you don't have to
but they so starstruck.
Just organize strong. Just reorganize. Separate and reorganize.
They not gonna do it because they so starstruck and they so into my leadership. And I kept telling them, I said, we don't need a leader. The struggle is the leadership. God dang, you know what I'm saying? We don't need a leader. We don't need Khaled back. We don't need Hashim back. We need to take where we at right now and build everybody. It takes all of us to be a nation. Like you saying, we saying the same thing. They want somebody to be the front runner all the time. Like they putting Nick out there. Like you said, they throwing Nick out there. I mean, Nick
And
is
that's
a
another
great
thing.
dude. Yeah,
But
he's a
but
great dude and a great organizer. And it was
but when you
his idea to put the stuff together.
but when you say Nick is a great guy and a great organizer, what is his resume?
Well, I don't know. Again, I didn't know
There you
nothing
go.
about
And
none
they
of
don't
that
know. And
stuff.
what I'm
I
saying though,
don't know.
that's my point
Yeah.
right there, boss lady. My point is right there. You don't have
Mhm.
to say another word and
That's
try
it.
to
I don't.
cause discord with brother Nick. The point that I'm making is when someone says, he's a good guy, he's a good organizer. When it
Mhm.
comes to liberation and we know history, we need to go a step further and say, what's your resume?
Right.
Before 2020,
Mhm.
before 2020, what is your resume?
Well, listen, this I've been in organizations my whole life. I'm a biker. Okay, so I got a lot of people from the motorcycle club community that's backing me. And they already done put the word out. Don't touch Janae. Don't say nothing to her. Leave her alone. Go ahead about your business. You know what I'm saying? Because my people don't play that at all. So when I got involved with the Black Power movement, I thought it was a hierarchy and a rite of passage, or you know what I'm saying. But no, it's like a pop up club. Anybody that want to be a revolutionary can just jump in and say, I'm a revolutionary. You don't have to prove nothing. You ain't got to show your rank and file. You ain't got to do nothing. And I was like, this is dangerous. So I had
Absolutely.
to vet people, at a distance. You know what I mean? You let them in a little bit. You only put people on a need to know basis because they not supposed to know everything that you know. You know what I'm saying? They ain't supposed to be, you send them on a little wild goose chase, see if they complete their assignments or whatever. I know how to do that type of stuff. I've been a probie myself. You know what I'm saying? I treated it just like I was in, being a prospect, you know. But
It's just
these
a sad.
people jump ranks. They go buy their own medals. These fools walking around with 5-star on one side. What are you doing? You ain't done nothing. You ain't led nobody nowhere. You've never done anything like this in your life.
They purple hearting it.
Yeah. You got on too many medals. Some of them we had to tell to take the shit off. You know what I'm saying? You're not even supposed to have gold bars. You're supposed to have black. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to go by the rules. And then we had we had manual trainings. Okay, this was right before Hashim passed. I'm the only person that showed up for the manual training with a manual. Come on.
Well,
You
sis,
know
let
what I
me get
mean?
out of here. I'm gonna get out of
Go
here
ahead.
because I didn't want this one to go as long as last night. I got a few more slides, but I appreciate you for hitting the link.
Yeah.
Um, because the first person that I could think of is you in DC. He lives
Right.
in Silver Spring, faking like he
Yeah.
live in DC. He don't even live in
He
DC
live
no
in
more.
Bowie. He live in fucking Bowie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, well,
So
whatever the case,
come
whatever,
through.
and this is the whole point. While
I'm
y'all
sick of
making all
all
the
of them faking
sacrifice,
like they doing something. For real. All of
while
them
y'all
need to
making all the
fall back.
sacrifice, he's living high on the hog, if you will. You know what I mean?
Listen,
He's living
I
high
ain't
on
that.
the hog.
I'm upset with these people because that setup could have cost me my daughter down there. And I'm not gonna be quiet about it no more. I'm not gonna hold my peace. None of that stuff no more because this shit need to be told. These people set us up. They set up Miss Michelle. You know what I'm saying? All of us was targeted because he just wanted Akbar out the way. That's it.
But the funny
They
part
want
about that, him and Akbar have been close for
They've been friends for
years.
over 30 years. Like I said on your show the last time, would at least I don't care about the fake. They all faking. You know what I'm saying? They all ain't really what they say they is. You know what I mean? It really ain't what you think it is. It's not. It's a bunch of picture taking and walking around with guns and shit like that, fake guns with no bullets in it. All kind of wild shit stuff been going on. Sorry about that.
It's
You know
all
what
right.
I mean? I ain't gonna hold you, and I'm not gonna hold
Yeah,
you
I'm
long.
about to get out of here. I'm about to get
I
out of
just
here about
need
10 minutes.
people to understand that you giving real truth. You
I'm about
giving
to get out
real
of here.
truth out here, and they need to take heed. If you involved in any kind of way, you need to protect yourself because the setup is coming.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
coming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt or
Mhm.
contradiction. I just hope people
It ain't
take heed.
over
But
yet.
thank you for chiming in, sis. I got about 10 more minutes and I'm gonna
All
get out
right.
of here. Thanks again, sis. Appreciate you.
All right. No problem.
And now that's Sister Janae. And as I said, I know, and not just from her saying it, I know someone that know her that says that, they do it out their own pocket. I know a sister that does thing out her own pocket. She's not a camera person, um, um, but she's a ride or die when it comes to her people. She's a ride or die, and she's in the same area. And so, but these people that claim to be about their people, man, they living large. They laying back, living large, bluffing. But at the same time, let me tell you the last thing we got to be aware of. One thing that we have to remember out of all things, if we don't remember nothing, we must remember. All right? That whether this is for all of y'all that take this as a YouTube show, and I'm going to close out with this. This is for all of y'all that just take this as a YouTube show, as I'm just stirring up trouble, and I'm doing this for views, and I'm monetized, and all of the excuses that you want to make. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to make it clear to you that no matter who Malik has been around that was significant, the death was suspicious. Steve Coakley had a problem with Malik, and he was one of the first to say that he was an agent that I know of. His death was suspicious. Did you hear me? You hear me? Steve Coakley. All right? It's number one. We already know Dr. Khalid Muhammad death was truly suspicious. All right? Hashim Nzinga, his death also suspicious. All associated with this one guy. And we got more too. On part 2, you'll see. Suspicious. As we see Hashim Nzinga here, and then we see Hashim Nzinga here, and then finally, we see Hashim Nzinga right here. All suspicious. So y'all can play this game if you want that Tahaka Bey is just doing this as a show. Sis say Hashim died from cancer. Bob Marley did too. But years later, they showed how he was giving the cancer. It was placed in a Converse shoe by one that was close to him, and it pricked him in his foot. And this is said to be how the CIA gave Bob Marley cancer. So when I say suspicious, I mean suspicious. And that's all I mean. Don't look too far into it. I'm saying consider that you have a family. Consider that you have a life that you want to enjoy. And consider that you want to fight for the liberation of your people and see it through to the end. Defy Shabazz, you can come on the show anytime you want. You can come on the show anytime you want. Demetri Dorsey said, GS, watch who you talk to. I don't talk to too many people, sis. I mean, Defy, you can come on the show anytime you want. The link is right here. You can come on anytime you want. You can come on anytime you want. Anybody can come on this show anytime they want. Anytime they want. I just ask, I just ask you to be respectful. I just ask you to be respectful. And like I said, it's suspicious. And there's more. In fact, we looking at now. I'll show you one more. I'll show you one more before I get out of here. If anybody know who this guy is, anybody know who this guy is? See, I know Defire think this is just a YouTube show. But if you are in those circles, just keep your head up. You don't have to believe me. Wouldn't it be better if I'm wrong than I'm right? Hope that I'm wrong. But I haven't accused anybody of nothing. I haven't accused anybody of nothing. I said, be careful. Is that too much to ask? To be careful? That's all I ask, to be careful. You don't have to convince me of anything. I shouldn't have to convince you of anything. I'm only saying be careful. That's all I'm saying. Anybody know who this is? If somebody know who this is, email me at taharkabay@gmail.com. No, I don't know what you think, and I'm not judging what you think, Defire. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the research and the evidence is really, really compelling. And I cannot put it all out in one show. The research is compelling. Dre Amir said Hashim told us that he didn't even want to be the chairman. Malik has always been in control, and Hashim was his puppet. I know this for a fact. Demetria Dorsey, we are going to give you your own show. Demetria Dorsey fired up. Don't worry about it. taharkabay@gmail.com. Let me know when you're ready, and we can sit down and have a conversation anytime you get ready. Because I see, I can see Demetria Dorsey. She ready to say, listen, let me tell you my side of the story. So you're welcome to come on the show, and anybody is. Real talk. But with that being said, I want to leave that up there for a minute. If anybody know who this brother is and where he is, I just hope he's safe. I just hope he's safe. You know what I mean? That's it. follow me? But with that being said, we'll be back. We're going to have some more shows, but next week we'll be back. We might be on this all week. We might be on this all week. You know what I mean? We might be on this all week because this is crazy. But with that being said, thank y'all for coming through this evening. I gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I mean? I gotta do what I gotta do, family. Take care of each other. And I'm gonna see y'all on the other side tomorrow night. You follow me? Tonight on Morse World TV, this is going to be an event like never before. Trust me when I tell you. First of all, let's address the concept that it's supposed to be this fight match, boxing match, MMA type match. Number one, I never talked to, I never confirmed, I never had one conversation to establish a date, a place, or anything concerning a match. What I did say, and everybody who's watching know I said this. I said, call me privately.
You gotta talk.
Brother, you can have my number anytime. Let me explain something to you. Prince Najee, this will be the deal. I'll bring my squad, he'll bring his squad. We'll go into a room, we'll shut the door, and whoever walk out, walk out.
That sounds good to me.
That's the only deal I would do.
It's called catch a fade. Sound good to me.
Yeah, that's the only deal I would do. And I'm not going to do this with 150 people because I got work to do. But since Prince Najee, he will be the representative. So don't give me no more offers. He will be the representative.
That sounds good.
He bring his people, I bring my people. We go into a door, we shut the door, and whoever walk out, walk out. It don't have to be on social media. No social media, no cameras, no nothing. Whoever walk out, walk out. It don't have to be on social media. No social media, no cameras, no nothing. Whoever walk out, walk out. It don't have to be on social media. No social media, no cameras, no nothing. Whoever walk out, walk out. It don't have to be on social media. No social media, no cameras, no nothing. Whoever walk out, walk out. Although Malik Zulu Shabazz didn't answer the phone when I called him live, as soon as the show was over, this is what he posted. I said, no social media. I said, you get your people, I get my people, we meet, go into a room, and whoever walk out, walk out. Immediately after that, this provocateur agent goes and posts that there is a fight between me and the guy, Najee. A flat out lie. This goes to show that this guy is a trained provocateur, because everything about the post had nothing to do with me, and it was very strategically worded. The next day, he puts out a flyer. This fake flyer was prepared better than some of the real events that the new Black Panther Party have hosted. To reel people in, to draw people in to this fictitious fight. Again, I said, call me privately. Playing, man. Stop playing. I don't believe like them old Moors that we're going to just have intellectual conversation. If you want to get dirty, we can get dirty. But don't set me up. But don't set me up. But don't set me up. Like Big Shirley them trying to do with the YouTube. Don't set me up. Because if you want to get dirty, we can get dirty. You got my number. In fact, let's do it here. You want to be fresh for YouTube? You want to be fresh for YouTube? Let's do fresh for YouTube. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You like to play the camera. Let's do fresh for YouTube. Let's do fresh for YouTube. Here we go. Let's do fresh for YouTube. Let's play the YouTube game. Let's play the YouTube game. You want to play the YouTube game? Here we go.
Greetings. You have reached Mr. Malik Shabazz. At the sound of the tone, please leave a message and I shall follow up with you promptly. Thank you.
Let me explain.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Well, since you watching anyway, let me explain something to you. You can meet me anytime, anywhere, whenever you get ready. Just hit my line. Don't post and ask me. Don't send me a message on Messenger. Just don't post and ask me. Don't send me a message on Messenger. Don't post and ask me. Don't send me a message on Messenger. Hit my line. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Just hit my line. That's all you got to do. How you going to be an attorney, but the phone goes straight? Why I said call me privately, because I know that you want to show. You want to just have a social media show. You really don't want to fight. If I would accept this circus of a fight, you would find a way to back out. But I would not accept the circus of a fight. I'm a grand sheikh and a Muslim. I'm an intelligent God, not a fool. We've seen this all before. We've seen this all before when the organization US, orchestrated by the FBI, was supposed to meet the original Black Panthers. And the agreement was to bring no guns, and the organized US group bought the guns, and that's how Bunchy got killed. See, we see you devils from yesterday, and you won't be able to do that today. You run a social media campaign to influence, and so we will also run a social media campaign to awaken our people to go against this mess. All the true revolutionaries around you should be turning in towards you and asking you, what in the world is wrong with you? All the true revolutionaries that are of greater intelligence should question you every step of the way, because this last stunt proves exactly what I've been saying. We about to get busy on this show tonight. Take time, get yourself some popcorn, get all your refreshments, because this is going to be 3 hours of hard hitting, exposing these frauds. Brother Najee, you did it to yourself.
Yeah, I'm the manifest. Check 1, 2. Sean, we got one. We got one. Yeah. Crypto, yeah. We got one. Yeah. Maymuna, we got one. Candy, we got one. Abu X. I'm the manifest of God. The manifest of God. Hit me
privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, ain't worried about you frauds. Gone, hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Let's see who really hard, ain't worried about you frauds. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Ain't worried about you frauds, hit me privately, let's see who really hard. Ain't worried about you frauds, boy, I'm a gorilla, Viet Cong, guerrilla warfare. Don't make me turn killer, you acting like my knife don't shank, my gun don't bust. Hit me quietly, we can do the fist to cup. Show up, I'm really about that stick fight, but I'm trying to keep it peace to bring my people to the light. You all washed up beer belly has-beens be tripping. Internet disrespect, making threats, you slipping. Now you said it how you think I'm gonna respond. With a song and a live stream, homie, you wrong. You done showed that John too many times and they ain't using. And I ain't really sure who you got me confused with. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Ain't worried about you frauds, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, ain't worried about your frauds. Holla at me privately, come on, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest.
You know this game will not be a reality to you if man did not calculate it or evaluate it or write it down. It wouldn't mean nothing to you.
So special.
It wouldn't mean nothing to you. The power of the mind is God mind. Connected to the force. The universal force is nature, the creator. You must be in balance with the universal force. This is the only way this works.
The manifest of God, the manifest of God. Hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, ain't worried about you fraud. Gone, hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Let's see who really hard, ain't worried about you frauds. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Ain't worried about you frauds, hit me privately, let's see who really hard. Ain't worried about you frauds, boy, I'm a gorilla, Viet Cong, gorilla. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. Family, see y'all tonight, 9:30. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law